Hi everyone! In today's video we're going to be installing GME's new XRS-BT1 Bluetooth adapter. So this is a great new device that they've brought out just recently, which basically allows you to use hands-free push-to-talk for your UHF radio. So we're going to be installing this in Maverick over here. And I'm really excited because basically it means that you don't have to reach over and grab your UHF microphone while you're also trying to hold onto the steering wheel and navigate rocks and bumps and things when you're off-road. You can literally just attach the little button here to your steering wheel or to your dashboard, and then you can push and use the external microphone to speak, and it's all hands-free. So very excited to see how this all works, and let's get into it. Okay, so let's have a look at what actually comes in the box. So this is the XRS Connect, or XRS-BT1 as they call it, and it's the new Bluetooth hands-free adapter. Now it is compatible with the XRS 330C, 370C and 390C. So if you've got one of those and it's one of the Bluetooth enabled ones, you should be able to use this. So I'll just open up the box here and we can have a little bit of a look at what it actually comes with. All right, so in here we have the actual Bluetooth adapter. So you can see this will just plug straight into your XRS unit, the main unit itself. And then this is where you'll then plug in your actual handset if you still want to use that as well. So if you still want to have your radio handset, that'll plug in there. Then we have the push-to-talk button itself. So you can see here it's a nice big button, nice and rugged, and it's got a little adapter that allows you to attach it to your steering wheel. You'll see in here that there is a little sort of rubber insert. That's to just help with the non-slip and kind of the grip, I suppose. If you have a skinnier steering wheel or if it's got a smooth finish, you can just have that in there and that'll stop it sliding around. So basically there's just two little screws in there, so you just need an Allen key to get that undone. And you can loosen this up, this will open up, and we can clamp that onto our steering wheel. So pretty cool. Now the button itself does come out of this little casing, so you can take that out, and it actually comes with, I can get it out here, a little Velcro piece as well. So if you don't want it on your steering wheel, you can actually stick half of this Velcro onto, say, your dashboard, for example, and stick the button on that way. So it's quite versatile. The button itself takes a little battery. I can't remember exactly what battery it is, but it'll be in the box. So when that does start running low, you can just unscrew the back and replace the battery. And then lastly, we have the little directional microphone. So this is what's going to pick up your voice while you're driving. It's just got a standard little 3.5mm jack there, which plugs into this little unit. And then you can wire this through and place it somewhere close to sort of where your face is going to be while you're driving so that it can pick up the audio. And then lastly, there's two little screws in here. I think that is just for attaching this if you want to actually screw it on. And that is what's in the box. So let's get on to installing it and see how we go.
In order to install the new Bluetooth adapter, what we need to do is unplug the existing cable, which this is the cable that goes to your headset. We've actually got the extension in here, so you can see under here, hopefully you can see that. That's just the extension connector that goes to the headset, which is up here, or handset I should say. So what we do, disconnect this, take this adapter, and that needs to go into here. And then what you can do is then you take your existing handset connector and plug that into this side. And now what we've got, so now the Bluetooth is all connected up to this. We will need to do a pairing later on once we've got it all connected. But for the meantime, the hardware is connected here. The other thing we will need to do is connect this, which is the remote microphone. We will need to connect that into this hole next to this this plug socket here. In order to install the remote microphone, up here, what we're going to do is, the first thing we'll need to do, it's pretty easy, especially if you have a little panel tool like this. I think I just got a set of these from Total Tools here in Queensland, Brisbane. But essentially what we need to do is just remove this small panel piece here. It's very easy. There's just a few clips, and I just push down on this so I can get this open a little bit, and then just gently just pop them out, and you'll just hear them pop and just go down, and there are about 5 of them, I think. And one last one down the bottom here. Is he out? Not quite. There we go. And then once you've done that, you can see that they're all there. They all just pop in, and you shouldn't break any, don't worry about that. And so now that we've got this out, we can actually get behind here, and we'll be wiring the cable up behind here, so it keeps it hidden and tidy. So the next thing we have to do is loosen this up. You can't unfortunately take the whole thing off. I don't know why, but I think there's some other screws that you need to undo, and I think you've got to take part of this off to access them, but we can at least loosen it. So just get this off. You can probably just use a screwdriver for this. It's just a little tiny clip on each, at the front of each one, end of each one, and they just sit there, and you'll see there is a screw right back there, a bolt, and there's another one in this one. It's a 10mm socket, so you can just get a screwdriver in there and they just come out, no problem at all. They are quite long, so they take a little while. There we go. So we'll put him up there for later, and the bottom one, there we go. Cool. So now that we've got that all loose, you can see we can actually move this around now, and that will give us just enough ability to thread the wire up there and get the microphone up where we need it. So in order to mount this up the top here, we need to thread this cable down through this panel here, the A-frame panel. So what we'll do is we'll try threading it through down here. So this hopefully will give it a straight path all the way down and make it pretty easy to get it in here. So you will need to pull this out a bit, and if you just keep pushing it through, it comes out nicely, exactly where we want it, where we've removed this panel. What we're going to do, now that we've got this cable tie fish line through, we will take the top part and tape that onto there, and then pull the whole thing through, and that way we can get this all the way down through here and into this cavity, which allows us to get it underneath the dash and across to where the unit is on the passenger side. So now that we've got this threaded all the way through, take the plug end of the remote microphone, and we will tape that onto the cable tie. So now there's no bits of metal that can get caught on anything as we pull it through. And so just grab the end that's down in that side panel area and pull that as you hold that open there, and with a bit of luck You can just pull that through, which it doesn't look like it wants to. There we go. And now, just keep pulling it all the way through. And now, with this piece, the microphone, we're just going to wind that around so that we can get it over where we want it, which is over there. So now we can stick it right there, and we've got all of the wiring hidden behind this panel, and looks very tidy now. Now that we have the microphone wire threaded through the A-frame panel, what we're going to do is take this panel off as well, and we can thread it down a little bit further and follow this factory wiring up into this back panel here. Just keep it all together, and lets us keep it all hidden and nicely thread it along underneath the dash here. So to remove this panel, what we're going to do is just gently pull. The back actually just comes out pretty easily, but just pull the front, and there's just two clips that go at the top here and one the bottom here, and just pull those out. You can use another panel pry tool if you want. The two back panel connectors, they're really just there to keep it in place. They're not actually clipping it all that much. So now with our fishing line, what we're going to do, just thread it down further. This just keeps it all tucked away right behind everything. So on the driver's side here, you can see that I've just threaded the cable along behind the dash and pushed the cable tie through behind the center console, and we then fished that out on the passenger side. So as you can see, when we thread it through from the driver's side, on the passenger side, it comes out at the back of the center console, and from there we can just pull the rest of the microphone cable all the way through and plug it into the GME Bluetooth push-to-talk adapter, which is in the glove box. So now that we have threaded the microphone cable through behind the center console, I've gone ahead and pushed the other end up. For us, because of where we've got this radio mounted currently, it's going to be easier to remove the glove box. What you need to do is, first there's an arm on the side here, and what you need to do is, where it connects onto the glove box, just pull up a little bit. You'll hear it unclick, and now that whole thing just comes free. The second part is that up the top there's just a little thing that stops it from falling out, so it just sits in front of this little tab. So just push the top part inwards, and then this will just fall out, and then from there it's just a matter of pulling it off. It's got these little feet on it that connect onto these four little pieces here. So what we've decided is, looking at all of the options, it's actually going to be easier if this unit, we found another spot for it. Instead of being in the glove box, we can actually just slot it up in this corner cavity. So it's just going to sit there for the time being. So as you can see, we've just slotted it right at the back there, and that should be out of the way of the glove box, and should mean that all the wires have enough lead on them and don't get pulled. Now that we've got everything connected up through the A-pillar here, we're just going to reinsert these bolts since we are done with this part. And remember, with these bolts, just hand tight. They don't need to be extremely tight. You don't want to strip the threads on any of these bolts. So just double check. Yep, cool. So now that we've got that all bolted back on, you can just push that back up, push this part back through the hole at the top, and then the bottom part just clips into the little hole like so. And now he's all back together correctly. So now to reverse the process and reattach this panel, very easy. Just make sure that that cable is tucked and you make sure it's sitting nicely. How do I want it? Probably like that. And yep, make sure it's not getting caught, and then just tap. And now the panel's back in place, and our wire, you can see we've still got, I just tested the wire, and yeah, it's still loose, so we know we haven't caught it on anything. So that's that. And bottom panel, we can also just reattach that very quickly. Get that one lined up and just push that one on, and back to normal now.
Alright, so it's time to install the little switch on the steering wheel. So it comes with this little rubber bit in here. This steering wheel is quite thick, so I think we're probably not going to need that. That's more if you have a kind of skinnier steering wheel, so we'll just take that out. And basically all we need to install this is a little hex key, so an Allen key. Now, in terms of where to place this, I mean, you can really put it anywhere. I'm thinking probably in terms of my kind of driving position. I don't really want this sort of clippy bit in the way of my hands too often. So if I pop it down the bottom here, that way I can kind of hold on there, and then I can easily just slide my hand down. And it's kind of close to the other switches on the steering wheel as well, so that feels like the logical place to put it. So we'll loosen this up. And like I said, you can actually take this off completely if you want to, this mounting clip, and actually just stick it on your dashboard or somewhere else that you might prefer. But I like the idea of having it on the steering wheel. I think it will just be a really convenient location for it. So let's see if I can get that on there. Perfect. All right, so I think that feels good to me. Feels like a nice natural position. I'm right-handed, so it feels like it'll make sense there. So we'll just tighten this up. Cool. I think that feels good. Perfect. All done. Right, so the last thing left to do now that everything is connected is actually to pair the new Bluetooth adapter with the handset itself. So what you're going to do is, first of all, make sure that you've updated your software. So in the box with the Bluetooth adapter, there is a little instruction guide, and there's instructions there on how to update the software on both your microphone handset and then also on the Bluetooth adapter itself. So just make sure that you're completely up to date, that there's no more software updates available. Have a look in your XRS Connect app, and that will help you make sure that everything is up to date. So once it is up to date, it's actually really easy to pair this. So you're simply going to push menu. You're going to go down to Bluetooth and push menu again. And then you're going to scroll down to visible devices. So if you haven't updated your software, that visible devices option will not show. So if you can't see it, that just means that your software is not fully up to date on here. So go to visible devices, push menu again, and you'll see it says none there. So then you're going to go over to your push to talk button, which is on my steering wheel, and you're just going to push and hold that, and there you'll see it's popped up XRS PTT, or push to talk. So you're going to hit menu again to connect, and now you'll see a little asterisk next to it there. That means that you are connected and good to go. Now if you want to check and see to make sure that this is actually paired, what you can do is hit back, then you can scroll to paired devices and hit menu, and you'll see there we've got the XRS push to talk all paired and ready to go. Alright, so we're just going to go for a little test drive. So Jeremy's got the handheld back in the garage, and I'm just going to go for a little drive around the neighborhood, and yeah, we'll give it a test and see how it works. Alright, Jeremy, do you copy?
Yes, I copy.
Ha, that's so cool.
So it seems to be working now.
Yeah, I can hear you great.
Cool. Just checking. Can you make sure you hold the button down while you're talking? Because I think it cuts in and out.
Sorry, did I not hold it down long enough?
Yeah, that was much better that time.
Okay, yeah, so you've got to give it quite a good push, so you need strong thumbs.
I think sometimes if you let go too soon, it doesn't quite get everything properly.
Yeah, so you've got to push it quite hard.
Cool. So I think that's working then.
Yeah, so one thing I've just noticed is because of how hard I need to push it, I am actually going to have to tighten the screws on the button just a little bit more, just to make sure that it doesn't move when I'm pushing on it. But yeah, that's working really well. We did turn the gain up on the microphone just a little bit because it was a little soft, but you'll have to just see what works for you in terms of your voice and also where your microphone is located. So mine is not super close to my face, so that's probably why we needed to turn the gain up a little bit. But yeah, other than that, it's working really great. So I head back and I think we're done. Alright, so this is the final product. So you can see we've got the little directional mic up in the top right corner here. If we come down here, you can see we've got our push to talk button. So I'm really happy with how neat and tidy this turned out. Like there's literally no exposed wires at all. Everything's neatly tucked away behind the A-pillar here. This position on the button is really good. It makes it really easy for me to hit that with my thumb while I'm driving. And then if we go over here, you can see the handset is still where it was before, on its little magnetic attachment there. And that just goes down underneath the dashboard there. And the bonus from this is actually I now have use of my glove box again, because we actually managed to tuck the whole unit away, as you guys saw, behind the dashboard. So yeah, it's a really great outcome, really happy with how this has turned out, and I can't wait to test it out on our next trip. If you'd like to see more of this type of content, please like and subscribe. As a new channel, every interaction really helps us reach our goal of our first 100 subscribers. Thanks for watching.